What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tribe of Nerds. You got your boys, Foat the Goat and Devin. Devin, what's up, man?
I guess we're here to talk Big Brother, and I want to just go ahead and start and say this was a devastating 2 weeks because we're covering 2 weeks, so it's a devastating 2 weeks for the trio of
Oh my God.
uh, with two of them being evicted and the third basically being the cannon fodder for the rest of the season with no chance of winning the game.
Yes, so Devin's basically alluding to the fact that weeks 4 and 5 here, we get Chuk and Kamu on the exit pretty much unanimously. Yeah, HOH just did not go right. Let's just say that.
5 and 6.
Oh, 5 and 6.
The thing is like I think that we actually got two potentially interesting head of households. Like, could have been interesting. The problem was that the gameplay continued stagnation because everybody already knew that, like, when the flip on the major 8 was going to happen, that Chuk, Haley, and Kamu were definitely on the bottom and going to get sniped out of the game. And it happened back-to-back weeks. I think, like, overall, like, through Latrice's week, we pretty much, like, we already knew this, but, like, it was pretty much solidified that Latrice knows nothing about what's going on. And, like, her HOH was essentially Kamu and Taylor's HOHs. Like, a mixture of those two. And Chuk paid the price.
Yeah, so Lala wins the wall comp on week 5. She ends up getting head of household, and she has some considerations for these nominations. Ultimately, she puts her faith more into Kamu, puts up Haley, Chuk, and Barrett, all for different reasons. She's not really aligned with Barrett. He's in the middle, and she's been told that by Taylor because Taylor kind of runs this part. And then Haley and Chuk are obviously in the 3. Chuk's not very well. They're actually considering him as a liar at this point. That Chuk's not going to work with these two ladies. So Taylor kind of throws Chuk into the fire, and it happens to put him up. I mean, I know you probably have some opinions on these 3 nominations. Haley most likely some opinion as you jump to the screen. So. What do you think about the 3 nominations here? Like,
the Barrett nomination, I think, is like a little bit of like, who cares? We know Barrett's probably not going. We pretty much knew that the entirety of the week. Whoever sat next to Barrett, if he didn't win the blockbuster, was going home. But the other 2 were a little more potentially interesting. I think that for the entertainment value, the correct person stayed and the correct one left.
Yeah.
Was bringing he was batting 0 in this game from every angle, in my opinion. I think that he's a top 10 worst house guest of all time. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I rank house guests on a lot of different things, and entertainment is up there as one of like the top 2 things. Like, you either have to be really good at the game or you have to be really entertaining. And he was mediocre at the game and literally a 0 out of 10 on, like, he almost was a detriment to the entertainment. Like, he was terrible. So from that perspective, Haley, on the other hand, is also mediocre at the game, but she's also more of a she is an interesting house guest. I mean, like, she's definitely somebody who is, I mean, I've talked about it before. Like, I found Haley to be kind of fascinating in the fact that she completely does not understand how she is perceived. Like, she has like this, like, hot, like, almost like a, what would you call it? Like a holier than thou, she can do no wrong mentality. But then her, like, social game is like a bull in a china shop. She has no, like, tact. She's very combative. She basically tells people when she doesn't like them. She's not afraid to argue, and I think those things are good in a house guest. But then, like, Haley's so petty that it, like, She's like low key, like I don't know how she got past the screening to get on the show because they are
I
very.
think she's an interesting character. Like I see what you're about to say, but I think she's an interesting character. It's just she's not good at the social part of it. She's good at the challenges. She's good at like coming up with random shit, and she strategizes for a little bit, but she's very petty about it, and she's very angry about it.
Yeah, I feel like Haley's like one of those contestants that like I think she's like almost like a callback to like a season Big Brother 9 type style contestant because they were all very brash, not the particular like really entertaining cast, but like not particularly the most likable people that you're like rooting for. You're just kind of like intrigued by how awful they are. For the most part, there was a few on the cast. Like she's very in that category, which is what I kind of want from casting. But like whenever you don't cast the rest of the cast that way and it's just this one person, they stick out as a sore thumb as like the easily to be unliked house guests.
Yeah, so we basically get to these nominations, and Chuk does not take it very lightly. He's pretty bitter about it. Haley, on the other hand, double that. She basically is hating most of this house now, very bitter. I'm pretty sure she starts a few fights. This was a very, it felt like a long week. I don't know about you, but it just was like a lot of bad mouthing, chaos. There's a part where Angela finally tells Haley about, hey, I actually voted for Lyric. Don't, be mad at me. And Haley she goes on this like sneaky plan. She gets her in a room with a few of the contestants, Yash, Kamu, D, and basically, yeah, you did tell, us about D, and then absolutely she loses it. Like there's a few moments this week where you could just tell Haley's stirring as much shit as possible. What did you think about how this week panned out with all that drama?
I get where you're coming from with it being like a longer week, but like for me, this is like what Big Brother is supposed to be. Like they're supposed to be house guests who like hate each other. And Haley and Angela have like this weird friendship / hatred for each other. Like Haley either hates Angela or she's literally her number one ally, best friend, and it's kind of gotten like muddled. Like I think a lot of people probably think that they're not that close, but like especially going into the following week, I'd still think Angela is probably Haley's closest ally, despite the fact that she can't stand her or trust her. I think that this is like one of the few times where I think like people were annoyed that Angela was brought back, but this is why Angela was brought back, because Angela can't hold it together. Like
right.
She's going to have moments of like strategic weakness because she is an emotionally bound player. So I don't know. I think that this was fine for Big Brother. I think that they kind of like they probably could have done more with it because like I know that this went on for longer than what it was shown on TV, but like at the end of the day, like this was pretty much all that was happening. Whenever you have this type of flip happening, a lot of players go like under the rocks. They stop with their gameplay to a degree and just kind of let the let everything fall where it may, and then come back and start playing again. So that's what I'm hoping happens going into week 7, because right now I think a lot of people are just kind of coasting off of the fact that the house.
Yeah, we have a few coasters this week with like Drew, Mallory, Melody, which to be fair, give them a break. I know Mallory and Melody's had a rough past few weeks, so they're probably a little more forgiven. I feel like Drew's kind of got back to a follow the icon role, which kind of sucks because I kind of was hoping he was going to start seeing the light, but I just don't think he is. Yash was an interesting one this week. He kind of jumped in a little more, listened a little more, but still not a lot from him on at least in week 5. I mean, we'll have more to talk about week 6 for him.
I think
you have anything to comment?
with the Yash comment, I mean,
Yeah.
more into it, but like during our last talk, I talked about how he was one of the three that really came out of the lyric week in an even worse position than he previously was. And I think me and you kind of had a disagreement into it, like where you actually like pull it together and actually start playing more. And like I think that we were both right. Like you were right that he did start doing stuff and trying to make moves, but I was also right that he was going to be a complete disaster and probably tank his game even more. So
I mean, week 6 he pretty much does. We'll get there in a sec, but we get to the POV. Kamu wins it. First player to not use it this season. I mean, I want your opinion because I think we'll have the same one at this rate because I think we've talked about it a tiny bit. Do you think he should have played it on Chuk? I think after knowing what happens on week 6, he probably should have. But this week, we know he wants to jump ship from the 3. I'm thinking he maybe shouldn't have 100% jumped. I seen the vision. I don't know. I think it was kind of dumb to just let him stick. What was your opinion on that week?
I agree that he should have used it, but I think he should have used it on Haley. I think he had a better relationship with Haley at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she does go on to win the blockbuster this week, pulling her off gives Chuk a better chance of winning the blockbuster. I think that if he wanted to guarantee to keep 1, he should have used it on Haley and then had the chance to keep 2 if Chuk wins that blockbuster. I think Kamu is, I mean, we'll get to him because obviously his week 6 disaster as well. It's from other things besides the game. It's gameplay, but it's not the gameplay that we're traditionally talking about. Kamu, I think he had the correct reads. Like, obviously, it is time for him to jump ship. Like, that's the correct read. Problem is you were so bamboozled that you turned on your true allies and screwed them, and then it screws him later on because he basically like kind of like he doesn't realize he's already burnt the bridge with the other 5 members of this 8-person alliance, and now he's burning the only 2 left, and like he's putting his hands in the games of Yash, Taylor, and Lala, who, let's face it, like when you're banking on Lala to like carry your game, there's a problem.
It's also just not good because they're on the bottom of this house.
I think that there's like there's correctness in what he chose to do, but the big flaw was he should have taken this idea, went to Haley and Chuk, and then the 3 of them flipped together in the hopes that Lala, Taylor, Yash, and then they have somewhat of a majority. I mean, it's like a hat split majority. You know what I mean? Like the other house has. And then you have kind of players like Mallory and Melody, who are obviously kind of in the middle. But that
Agreed. So yeah, we pretty much forecasted it, but Haley wins blockbuster. Chuk goes home. Pretty much everyone. Barrett's safe. No one was pretty surprised by that. I'm trying to think of any important week 5 info that really happens after that because it's kind of just past the drama. It's just really steamrolly. Week 6 is pretty important actually, so we could just jump into week 6 if you're ready.
I think I have one thing to talk about from week 5, and we can go week 6 too because it kind of is a 2. Obviously we see Melody and we see who's the other? Mallory.
Mallory.
Melody get potential chances to get power, but instead they get punishments because they are decently popular with the fans right now because they're the only 2 in the game who are currently even thinking like, how can we swing this to get out one of the returnees? Which, will it happen? Probably not because they didn't get no powers from their thing. But like, I think that week 6, because of like their position. I think that they're at least showing that Melody and Mallory are kind of in decent spots if they can convince Drew and Barrett not to be zombies who followed Angela D in this round.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few discussions we'll have with this, because I think there's a few things that could happen in week 7. But on week 6, we get head of household of Yash. He ends up winning. And finally, we get, like, Yash has, some way more moments than he's had in the past five weeks, because this is his head of household. He tries getting the boys. There's a moment where he's dancing with Kamu and Drew in the room, like they're having boys' time. I seen Twitter hating the life out of it. It was kind of funny. But what's interesting enough is Yash's nominations. I mean, he throws up Haley, he throws up Dee, and he throws up Angela. I mean, one, I guess, makes sense. Like the Haley, I guess she's just doesn't get blood on his hands, whatever. He doesn't want to put all 3 like icons up, I guess. But the Dee and Angela, if you're going to put 2 up, you might as well put all 3 up.
Have to put up the third. That's my problem with it. You either put up all 3 or you put up none at all. Like, you do not mix and match, because we see how disastrous a household goes, because despite the fact he wins the power of veto, he knows that these icons, Angela, they picked in the first week or the first round. They know Dee and Devin's probably got powers because nobody got punishments rounds 2 and 3 of this thing. And then rounds 4 and 5, Mallory and Melody both got punishments. So there's 2 powers in the game, and they know of one because Dee
Yash, yeah,
told Kamu, and Dee offered the deal to Yash. They know Dee has one, and you have to assume Devens has the other, and he's not told you, so he's not with you. So quit being a pussy and put up the 3 icons if you're going to play this game like that. If you're not going to put up all 3, then just put up Melody, Mallory, and Haley and call it an 8. You know what I mean? And save some things.
Yeah, and then, I mean, we end up seeing why this goes so disastrous for Yash. Ultimately, Yash wins the POV, and then, of course, doesn't use it. But Devens pulls out his handy dandy diamond POV and takes off his number 1 Dee, and then replaces Dee with Kamu, Yash's number 1. I mean, just iconic play by an icon in the game. But I mean, yeah, what the hell is Yash thinking with leaving 3, 1 icon off the board and 2 like in? Like, come on.
At this point, he's probably thinking I'm a moron. I mean,
yeah.
I mean that in the nicest way possible. He's a moron. Like, he should have known. Like, to me, like, these people who get, like, lost in the sauce of, there are 3 players who entered after all the others entered. 14 of us entered, 3 came in afterward. They are all 3 reality TV show icons. They have basically been deemed a trio since week 1. We all know they're working together. What makes you think that one of them is ever going to choose you over any of the other 2? Because their chance at winning the game goes down if they sit next to somebody, because the jury can just sit there and say, let's give it to not an icon. They're going to try to take each other to the end. To me, this baffling gameplay from Yash. Like, what I expected, though. I didn't think Yash was that good of a player. And I think that this week, just the information, yes, it wasn't like directly in front of him, but like the level of intelligence, I think, to get past what you don't know to what you could know is literally like maybe like going from addition and subtraction to multiplication and division. Like, it should not be that hard. But
it continuously makes me baffled that they know these icons are working together, the 3 of them, and there's nobody's doing anything to stop it. Like, Yash even tries, and he's just so, like, doesn't do it correctly to the point where they basically save each other and put up probably the one person that would have done something about this trio of icons. But Kamu ends up going home because of all this. And somehow I cannot believe Angela pulled off the ball thing. Oh my God, the blockbuster.
Moment of the week for me, because whether you like Angela or don't like Angela, she is sitting in a really poor position. Like she's not known for her challenge prowess, and she's sitting
Yeah.
next to Lee and Kamu, who are both probably in the top 5 strongest house guests in these comps for the season. And for her to come out and get a win off of it was probably the most hype thing of the week. I think she was safe. I mean, she was guaranteed to stay in either way, but it is a lot more interesting if there's the option to, evict Haley over. I mean, obviously it doesn't go through. Kamu goes home 8-1. But obviously I think he goes home almost 9-1 against Angela, because I think Haley potentially keeps Angela too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a tough position because there's a few players that are just very strung along. Like Barrett's not I expect him to get strung along at this point. He's insanely connected to D and Angela at this point. I'm like shocked with the Drew one a little bit because he has the number one in Melody. He has like the connection with Mallory, like, but he's just so invested into these icons, knowing that D is like doesn't want him around. It's just crazy to me that he just has that loyalty like this. Mallory and Melody also they could considered this, like, say Haley wins and it's Kamu and Angela, maybe we get rid of Angela instead, or maybe we keep Kamu because Kamu's the one that's actually really fighting like vocally and theoretically to get one of these icons out. But ultimately they stay with the numbers, kind of like Taylor, and vote out Kamu.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I think that the girls, like, they talked about it a little bit after the eviction. The girls this season are just strictly playing better games than the boys.
Yeah.
Of Devens. I mean, of the 4 men left in the house, I think that Yash and Drew are probably in the bottom 3 or 4 for the, like, what they're, like, based on what we're seeing, what they're going to do in this game, they're not going to win because they're going to basically hand it to icons. Or the only other person that's like down there is Lala and Haley, because Haley's, like we've talked about how untalented Haley is when it comes to social game, and Lala basically like won HOH and then handed the reins over to 2 other people and said, no, you run it. And Yash kind of did the same thing. Yash had a chance to run his own HOH, kind of handed it over to Kamu, and it got Kamu evicted, like, because Kamu's not good at Big Brother. Like, like Kamu's decision making is poor because he trusted Devens.
I think Kamu had a lot of promise. He just made a big error this week with making it obvious to Devens that like he's coming for the 3 of them. So he obviously pulled his trigger on saving D. Kamu was a fun player to watch too, in my opinion. I was actually rooting for Kamu. Like I'm a fan of Kamu as a Big Brother player, but he unfortunately got caught pretty bad.
Okay, so Kamu fell into the trap. His game tanked week 4 whenever he decided, actually let's just say week 3, because between weeks 3 and 4, after Rome was evicted, he decided that, like a good Christian man, he should go and try to get in the bed of an evicted ally's showmance. Just take it because the guy's gone. Because to me, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, Lyric has already proven that her being on the block next to the guy goes home. Why would you want to crawl in bed with this girl? And then you just kind of burn Haley, who is your girl, and make her mad. And then you finally get her on board, only for the rest of the house to be like, nah, screw Lyric, she can go home. And now you've tanked your, like, to me, he's like an entertaining house guest as far as like he's trying to do things, but his logic and his ability to play this game is below average for me. Like, this is somebody who, like, it's almost like whenever you ask somebody like, why is 6 times 6, 36, and they can't tell you the logic to get there, like why 6 times 6 is 36. They only know the answer is 36. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, you're basically saying that he knows the answer, but he doesn't know why he's getting to the answer. And I kind of see it. I think he was trying to rebound a little bit with the flip, but again, we talked about how it was just not the correct way to do the flip. And in this week, I think he was going to be fine until the power that the icons had just basically tanked him. I mean, he was going to be fine. You know, he was going into week 7.
But he's the one who had the information. He's the one Dee told she had a power. And you know that there's been 5 weeks, 3 punishments, 1 power, and there's 1 left over. And you can't figure out who the hell has it. Considering Angela has 1, and we know Angela had got a punishment, and Dee has 1, we've got to assume that it's in the hands of Devens. And to me, this is just, like I said, it's almost like, why? Like I want you to do well in this game because I don't want this to just be a steamroll for the vets. But at this point, I'm just going to assume it's going to be a steamroll for the vets because none of you guys can seem to like do simple, like, what do you call it? Like,
theory. I get it.
Like, you hypothesize for shit.
At the end of the day, I think it's fair to say maybe they thought Devens had a power, but what the power was probably they probably didn't consider a diamond POV. I mean, I think one of them, it might have been Lala, didn't he, like literally said, I didn't even know that was a thing. So like it kind of comes into play like the newbies. They definitely underestimated like the powers that potentially are out there. And I kind of find it funny that Dee, told Kamu and then Yash finds out about it, but like half the house still like I'm pretty sure don't know about it.
Can I say something though?
Go for it.
Even a little, I would have quite a bit more respect if the idea or the plan was like, and we got to try to flush these powers. If that was in the cards and that was a part of the plan was to just flush the powers no matter what happens, I would have more respect for that. But I don't think that was in the, like, they were just assuming that the powers were just either not with Devens or it was such a weak power like Dee's, because Dee's power is not that strong. This is a very strong power. This is not a very strong power. Like, if I'm in the house and I find out she has this power, do you know what I'm doing? I'm going straight to Dee and being like, you don't want to waste this power, so why don't you get like a lot for big bang, get big bang for your buck? Pretend like you still have it, but just give it to me and I'll vote however you want for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be a fun way to do it.
I get $5,000. You have a second vote for 3 weeks.
I wonder if she would take it.
I mean, once it's out there, why not? Like, especially now that it's been declined by someone.
I kind of want to talk about Taylor's game a little bit because I feel like we haven't as much this up for this week 6. I think Taylor kind of, it's from at least what I've been reading from like online and the few clips I've watched. I feel like Taylor's game kind of went down again. It sounds like the icons are kind of sick of her. And I kind of fear for her game a tad bit again. I feel like she's not at where Haley is on the annoyance level, but I feel like she's kind of stumbled down there. I mean, what are your thoughts on Taylor's game, like going into week 7, I guess?
I mean, I think that Taylor is fine, like comparatively. Like, obviously, I'm not talking in the grand scheme of Big Brother. In the grand scheme, 4, but in the grand scheme of just this season, she's kind of like I think that like even when she is kind of being thought of as a target, it's always like a secondary target or a tertiary target. Like, I mean, like right now, I'm assuming Yash is probably the bigger target left in that. She's probably going to get lumped in with Latrice if they try to nominate like Latrice and Taylor. Like, Taylor has a higher chance of winning the blockbuster because she's sitting next to somebody who's incompetent. I mean, like, I think that like her gameplay's like mediocrely solid, compared to like what we just talked about with Kamu, where I think his was mediocrely like shaky. Like you don't need her flaws are very, very like specific, and I don't think that they're as like I don't think her house of cards comes crumbling down as quickly as someone like Kamu's did.
Would it be fair to say, if like taking out a head of household, that the sides of the house right now are the icons, Barrett, Drew, and then it's Latrice, Taylor, Mallory, Melody, and Yash, with Haley just kind of there, like in the middle, I guess.
I would say it's more like, I would say it's kind of like it's the trio of, you know, the icons with obviously Drew and Barrett. And then there's like a loose link to, you got the loose link to Melody and Mallory, who also have a loose link to Yash, Taylor, and Latrice.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have Haley, who's linked. I really think it's probably still to Angela. Like I don't know who else she talks to. I know that her and Angela hugged during the eviction. And Angela seemed very, when she won, she didn't go and jump in Kamu's arms. She went and jumped in Haley's arms because she probably realized Haley was staying and Kamu was gone. So she was probably like, "Oh my God, our friendship is back!" You know, like
I love you.
Like, but who else is she going to work with? Like, she can't work with Latrice and Taylor. They hate her guts and have like proved they'll put her on the block. Yash just put her on the block. You know, Mallory and Melody talk shit about her 24/7. I mean, she knows first to them, so there's no real bridge there. And Drew and Barrett are stuck up Melody and Mallory's butts and the icons' butts, and two of the three icons don't really care much for her either. So, like,
I think the strategy right now with the Haley is kind of just hope that if you can get her on your side a tad bit, just let her fucking float, because you're beating her ass at the end.
Yeah, like if I am Haley right now, I am realizing that I have no one. And then going to say, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to sit over here. I'm not going to talk to a soul ever. Like, until they literally corner me and force me to talk. Like, if people walk into the room, I'm going to say, "Oh, I got to go shit." Like, if people, like, come outside, I'm going to be like, I got to go take me a shower. Like, wherever I can be alone, because then people might just forget you're there. Because there's a lot bigger fish to fry on each side, and maybe she can, that's her only hope in the game. I don't think she can win it, but like she could go somewhat far if they just decide that like it's time for the icons and the like stragglers to go at it.
Yeah. All right. Let's I want to walk into people that we think are doing well up in this point. I really don't want to like just sit on the icons, because I think we both agree they're kind of running the ship. If I had to rank the icons, let's do that. I think Devens is obviously running it pretty well, but I think Angela has the better shot of the three to go the longest. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I think she has the higher chance right now to go the farthest. I think she just has like the weird, like she has the connection with Barrett. She has the connection with Haley. Like that's fucked up. I think she's just a girl's girl. I'm still confused on the Latrice and her thing, but it seems like they hug and shit. But I think Dee's the third of the three. I think people are going to want her gone before Devens. And that's kind of what I'm looking at.
There's three things to look at. Best game, best chance to go far, best chance to win. I think that each of them is taking a category. I think Devens is for sure playing the best game. Angela has the best chance to go far. And Dee probably has the best chance to win if she sits in the end. I think that, like, when it comes to, like, who, like, who's second in each of those categories is where you're going to have to break that tie. I think that Dee's playing the second best game currently. I think Devens has the second best chance to go far. And I think Devens has the second best chance to win the game if he sits in the end. So I think of the three, I'm going to go Devens is the best. And I'm actually going to go with Angela is in the worst position to win, but she's definitely in the best position to go far, miles above the other two, because why would you waste your HOH on Angela? The same way, why would you waste your HOH on Lala?
So let me throw something at you then. If I'm Barrett, do you want to go to the end with Angela if you're Barrett?
I think Barrett thinks that, but I think Angela beats Barrett.
Really? Okay.
I think Barrett's best play is to get to the end with Angela and like Lala, Taylor,
Haley.
Haley. Maybe, Angela and Haley. That's probably his best final three. And then just beat the two girls, evict probably Angela, take Haley to the end, and win. That's probably his best chance. I don't think he realizes that. Like, I'm just going to be honest. The reason is because Barrett and Drew, they're doing the correct stuff as far as like to stay on the goods with the icons, but they're almost too good at it. They're too good at reporting back because the icons are able to outplay everybody because they're getting all this information from Barrett and Drew, and they're basically kind of like helping themselves in the short term, but in the long term, they're probably going to get nixed by the people they're saving currently. Drew specifically. Then you got the two girls, Melody and Mallory, who I think could be up there and strategically they've proven in their conversations they know what they should be doing. But their ability to win comps is so low that it's almost like, it doesn't matter if you have an amazing batter. If the first three can't get on base, you're not going to score but 1 point. I don't know. Obviously, Latrice don't know what she's doing. Taylor probably does to some extent, that she's closely aligned with two people who are really trash at this game. Yash is really poor at this game. Could not figure out that he should probably put all three icons up, because if you're trying to flush powers, you should probably just stick them all three up and hope that they can't save each other with their powers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Haley, who, like I said, has the social graces of a bull in a china shop that's been shot with a tranquilizer and is going crazy before it eventually falls over.
So I know you and I talked about this individual off camera, and you just brought her up recently. I want to bring up Mallory. I think she's been sitting herself in a little bit better of a spot recently than before. I've clocked that people are probably going to go after Melody over her, and if they're going for Mallory, I really think they're going to try to get Drew or Melody out before. I think Mallory also, she's got some comp, skills to her. I think she's maybe forgettable. She's kind of been I just don't see everyone talking about her as much as they used to. So I want your thoughts on Mallory's positioning.
So me and you talked about it a little bit. I think Mallory, if she can make it through a double, is in a decent spot to go decently far. And maybe win if she can win enough comps towards the end of the game to kind of take out the people she has to take out and then sit next to a Haley or a Latrice or somebody who obviously she can easily beat. I think she's fine. I think the biggest problem with Mallory is she's currently probably not the biggest target of the three, because Drew and Melody are seen as a pair and her and Melody are seen as a pair. So people want to take out Melody first, because if Melody goes first, then that's actually Mallory's best spot, because if Melody, Drew's still ahead of her on the hit list. But if Drew goes first, I think Melody sucks so bad at these comps that people are like, maybe we just take out Mallory first. And then, you know what I mean? I think that she really needs to get it to where her, Drew, and Melody go as deep as they can together, and whenever it's time for one of them to get evicted, that it's Melody. But I think she's going to try to protect Melody, which is her worst move. And then if Drew goes home, Melody probably goes way low. Her threat level drops to levels of Latrice, and then you're screwed if another icon gets the HOH at that point.
It's interesting to me that Melody had such a hot first few weeks of like threat from like D's POV, like she was talked about going home, and now Melody's kind of like, from what you're saying too, like it's a possibility Melody could go pretty far if just a few things work out.
Yeah, Melody's best case scenario is actually the same thing. The three of them stick together for as long as possible, but hers is when instead of her going home, it's Drew goes home, or Mallory goes home first for some reason. Like she goes from being the second highest or the biggest, the highest possibility to go home to the lowest as soon as one of them goes home, because I mean, like the girl can't win nothing. Like, I mean, I wish she could, because I think she'd be a very interesting HOH. I think she'd be a very fun veto holder, but like her comp skills, I mean, they're not there. They're just not.
She's like Ashley from last season. She just can't pull it together ever.
She's. I think that like the Drew. I don't know what Drew needs to do to win this game. I
Poor Drew.
There's correct moves here. Like he's got his 4 and then his 3 or his 5 and then he's got his 7 and then he's got relationships with everybody, but nobody actually fully trusts him. He's kind of on everybody's radar to some degree because Angela has literally since day one been like, make sure Drew is on your radar, like to every person who's been in the game. And every time he has like any ounce of ability to potentially let the flip happen, he like almost lets it happen enough to make him untrustworthy, and then chickens out last minute and gives all the power back to the icons. And then they're just like, well, thank you for finally telling us, but like noted that you didn't tell us immediately. Like to me, I think a lot of people had like high hopes for Drew in this game. I think that he's like low-key playing a little too scared to actually do well. Like he's reminding me a lot of like people want him to be a Quinn type character who makes like crazy moves and like the young kind of spunky guy who's like, but he's more of like the Vince who just gets steamrolled by other people and screws his allies out of the game and gives power to people who are not fun to watch on TV because they're awful. Morgan. And yeah.
I think Barrett and Drew have that same archetype a little bit, because with Drew kind of letting people string him along, I feel like Barrett's letting like Angela kind of and D kind of string him along. So yeah, I see what you're saying with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird imbalance because you have this one select few that are just steamrolling, and then you have this select few that could do something. And then there's a select few where you're like, well, the middle select few needs you at the bottom to kind of help so that we can take on the icons, but they're really not. They're not doing shit. So,
I mean, honestly, I would just say, guys, get your own buckles, click them in, because we are going to be riding a D, Devens, Angela train for at least 3 or 4 more weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully somebody wises up towards the end game, but I mean, there's a chance that none of them ever, by the time they wise up, it's, a nail in a coffin. Like, I mean, if we get a final 3 of Devens, D, and Angela, I mean, it's probably the most interesting final 3 because they're probably the closest to winning over each other. But like that means the rest of the season was a snooze fest of just them steamrolling people out of the house. So,
I mean, I will admit, if it's those 3 somehow at the end, that's a very crazy final 3, just because you came in with such high targets and you somehow after 80 plus days were able to just not go home. You know what I mean? Like, I would be quite impressed.
I want to be impressed by it, but I'm not impressed by returnees doing well.
You're not impressed by 3 of the 3 getting to the final 3, really?
By returnees, because here's the thing. I think that it's been proven in Big Brother, it's been proven in Survivor, it's been proven anytime that you bring somebody who's played a reality game before, or especially if they played the show that they're returning for, right? Like before, it's the proof is in the pudding. Like, obviously, we can't just look at all-star seasons because they're all returnees, but like, Paul returned in one of his seasons, was a runner-up a second time in a row, so he had a very good run his second time. Rachel, Jordan, Jeff, Brendan, Dick, and Danielle all returned for season 13, and 5 of them made it to jury out of 6. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of, like, Jesse made it to jury on his second run. I mean, he was the first juror, but Jesse's not a great player. But even somebody as arrogant as Jesse was able to come back after being a pre-jury boot and make it to jury, and was in the running to win the game, and was taken out by a coup d'etat. Like, it literally took America gifting Jeff the power to overthrow Jesse's allies' head of household so that they could put Jesse up to get him evicted. Like, to me, there's like, I'm not as impressed when returnees come back. I mean, freaking Sari, who can't do very good at challenges, but is an amazing social player, came on to Big Brother and got to 5th place and literally only went out because she couldn't win a challenge. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, the returnees doing well is not like, it's not like, oh gosh, no. Like, I'd be more shocked if people were like, no, we're going to get the returnees out. And they just all went home back to back to back in the first 3 weeks. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I guess I see your logic there, because I haven't watched too much Big Brother other than the past 4 seasons, and yeah, this might be one of my first ever live watch like where someone returns, or like someone who's played comes. Well, no, Rachel was last season, so that would have.
Rachel goes twist. Like, I mean, she was running the game up until she was booted by a twist. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, returnees coming in and doing well. It doesn't, like, it's nice and it's impressive, and I'm rooting for them because I usually like the returnees, because, I mean, 9 times out of 10 they do not bring back people that I don't like, but it's not impressive to me because they do it so often. They come back and they either win or end up as a runner-up, or have like a really deep run where they're like basically the front runner to win until they're taken out because of a twist or whatever.
That's fair. Well, for weeks 5 and 6, I mean, do you have anything else? Because we can kind of jump into who won. We could kind of go into the spoiler part of the episode.
Yeah, I'll just finish it with this. I think Kamu going home kind of dampens the chances of anything ever happening in this game.
I agree.
Like, I'll just be honest. Like, the one thing about Big Brother that I genuinely don't have fun time with is how the online community is. Like, and they have torn Kamu and Haley and Chuk apart. And I mean, I like making fun of them too because it's funny, but like, I know that Kamu and Chuk probably got pretty rude awakenings upon exiting the house. I mean, Kamu on the stage was like, oh, I want to come back and play again. You're never coming back and play again. You were unpopular. You were very unpopular. You were unliked by a bunch of people in the online community who decided to tear you up every time that you did literally farted funny in the house. Like, you're not coming. But anyway, like, I think that in that regard, I'm kind of glad that he went, because now I don't have to deal with seeing that all the time.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'll leave it with this. I enjoyed Kamu until he kind of shot himself in the foot and then randomly went home on a power. But yeah, I guess that's kind of the 5 and 6 talk for us. I kind of want to this won't be very long because there hasn't been too much that's happened, but if I'll throw up the spoiler, you get 5 seconds. We're going to talk about the next week. But so from what we know, D ends up winning the head of household for week 7. And I'm not very excited to see it because I kind of have a feeling what's going to happen. But it's sounding like it's going to be a Latrice, Taylor, Drew, or Haley that are going to be up. That's kind of just what I'm feeling, what I've been seeing. I mean, what do you think, Devin?
I mean, I think it's going to be a combination of them and Yash. I think Yash is the target.
Yeah.
Yash doesn't get picked for Veto and win it. He ends up being put up and doesn't win the blockbuster. I think Yash's game is, I think we'll see another another man getting evicted. I will say, though, the pattern has been woman, man, man, woman, man, man. So it is due for a woman to go home this week. So
that's funny. Yeah, it kind of, when I woke up this morning and see that D1, I was like a 30-70, 30%, like, oh, nice. And the 70 was like, up, snooze fest. Just because nothing's going to happen to the Icons this week. Nothing's going to happen to like Barrett. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be kind of predictable. I feel like what will happen this week. It'll just be like a Taylor or Yash go home. I don't think they're going to I don't think anyone's getting rid of Haley. I don't think so. I don't see it yet.
The only way Haley goes home is if D nominates, like, let's say Taylor, Latrice, and Haley, and then let's say like Taylor wins and takes herself off at the veto, and then Yash goes up and Yash wins the blockbuster, and then it's Haley versus Latrice. I think there's a chance Haley goes home in that spot. Just because she's a stronger competitor than Latrice. But she does have the fact that work with her and nobody likes her, and Latrice does at least have allies, so that could be her saving grace. Like, we're at the point where her game is so bad that her strongest suit is how bad she is.
Just keep playing bad, Haley, because you might get fired.
Like, honestly, she might as well just wake up every morning, middle fingers in the air, cussing people every time she walks past them. Like, not just cussing them. I'm not like, oh, just dropping the F. No, I'm talking like rip them apart and make them feel this big and make them think, gosh, that is a gold mine to $750,000, and sit there and try to take your second place money. I
love it. Oh, I love it. All right. Well, it's been fun. We've discussed weeks 5 and 6. I'm excited to see week 7, I guess. Any final words, Devin, before we exit?
No.
Nope, I'm fucking gone. All right. That was it, everybody. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to tune in for more. And yeah, till next time on the Tribe of Nerds.
They cut the feeds yet.